Hi everyone, this is Morgan, and in this video I'm going to walk you through how to do a Google image search and specify the size of the image you're looking for. Because this is also meant to help prepare you for your scavenger hunt that asks you to look for the principles of design in the wild, I'll also give you some tips for how to approach this assignment. So, I'm starting off at Google. This is how Google looks to me on this particular day, but from here, I actually want to encourage you to look to the top right and click on images. So obviously we want to do an image specific search rather than just search the whole internet. So let's say that the specific image I'm looking for is meant to represent the idea of rhythm. I'm going to do the wrong thing first. So first I'll say rhythm. Now, part of the reason this is the wrong thing is most of the images that we're getting aren't actually photographs. They're illustrations, they're digital mock-ups, they're not photographic in origin. Another reason these aren't a good example is they're kind of the most obvious examples of rhythm. They're not you going out and finding things that exhibit rhythm, they're just, sort of prepackaged, which is not the goal of this assignment. If we go a step further and say rhythm in art, that's another issue just because, again, these images aren't photographic and they're sort of prepackaged. A lot of these are actually instructor examples or textbook examples of the concept of rhythm. So for that reason, again, they're not a perfect, image for this assignment. So what I would actually encourage you to do more than just look up the words, just do a Google search on the words, is to think of specific places you've been, specific objects that you think might be interesting as photographs, and sort of work backwards. So I'll give you an example of this. I'm going to search for a place I've been, and you can see it's already in my search history. This is Reynisfjara Beach in Iceland. And the reason I thought this could potentially be a good fit is that beach has these really interesting rock formations that I think could be a good example of rhythm. In a way, they're a good example of repetition and a few other things. Like we've discussed in class, the principles of design are often intermingled in a given image. But before I even decide what my favorite image is, I'm going to worry about the pixel dimensions. So when I hover over an image, you should see that in the bottom corner, you're actually given the pixel dimensions. So this is 669 pixels by 446 pixels. This is 1920 by 1080 pixels. So the pixel refers to the resolution of the image. It refers to how big it is. It refers to the file size. So for this assignment, I'm hoping that you can find images that are between 400 and actually 1920 pixels wide. So those are just kind of nicer, medium to large images that are going to upload still really quickly for you. So to find images that are that specific size, I'm going to go to Tools. And once I click on Tools, this whole menu should drop down for you. So now I should see that I have the option to specify size. So I can do a few things. I can just ask for large, medium images, but what I really care about is just making sure that they're larger than that 400 pixel wide dimension. So that makes it really easy for you. You can just say larger than 400 by 300. And that doesn't eliminate a ton of images for this particular search, but it's refining it a little bit. So now I'm going to scroll through and see which image kind of shows the rock formations that I'm most interested in the best. So when I look, this is kind of the image I was looking for, just a close-up showing the kind of rhythmic qualities that this particular place has. And hovering, I can see that it's 1280 pixels wide, which is within the range that I'm looking for, so that's kind of perfect. So I can click on this. And then the one kind of snafu is it's a YouTube image, but I can click and drag this onto my desktop. And just to double check that I got the correct dimension, just because I did kind of yank it off of this thumbnail, I'm going to pull it into Photoshop and just do a quick check. So I'm looking at this image, just to triple check that I've got the correct size, I'm going to go to image, image size. And because I was already doing a related project, I'm having it display pixels for width and height. You could potentially be looking at this first. All you have to do to change whether Photoshop tells you something's size in pixels or inches is to click on this drop down, and you can see that I got the size I was hoping for. So once you have this size, I would highly encourage you to save it as a different name so you can keep all these images in some sort of order. Because I'm already in Photoshop, I can easily just go save as, and I'll just pick this one for rhythm. So when I go to Canvas to upload all of my different images, all 6 images for this particular assignment, it's going to be super easy to remember which one goes with which principle. So that's how you do a Google image search based on size, and those are some tips for this particular assignment.